Hi, welcome to episode 17 of the StressKnits podcast. I'm Stacy, also known as StressKnits on Ravelry, and Stacy, also known on Instagram. We have a StressKnits Ravelry group, which all the links to everything will be in the down bar, and you can find the show notes on the Ravelry group. So, I just want to say thank you so much to all returning viewers, and thank you for anybody who's checking me out for the first time. Thank you so much. I love having you here. I love being able to talk to you about my favorite thing that I do right now. So I didn't know if I was going to do a podcast this week because I didn't do a lot of knitting, but I chose to write show notes just to see how much I had to talk about. And even though I don't have a lot of knitting to show you, I just am really excited about yarn right now, and I just want to share the patterns that I am loving right now and just some dream knitting and dream acquisitions, because our community is just so talented and wonderful, and I just want to talk about all of the things. So, first off, we have a giveaway going on right now. It closes on May 31st, so the next podcast, I believe, I will be drawing the winner for a skein of yarn, which I have over here, from With Pointed Sticks. Susan, who's the dyer, generously gave this as a giveaway for you guys. And this is the skein up for grabs. I just wanted to show it again because it's absolutely beautiful. It's gonna kind of break my heart to give this away, but everything in her shop, and I have a skein of tulip fields that she gave me. But this is mixed berries on her glitter gel fingering, which is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. It's 438 yards. And it's gorgeous. So if you haven't entered yet, please enter, 1 entry per person, and I will draw via random number generator on May 31st. So yes, please enter this because this is just too gorgeous. It's just so pretty. All you have to do is go into the Ravelry group and the thread for the giveaway. Tell me your favorite colorway that Susan dyes, which is incredibly difficult because everything is just gorgeous. So yes, enter this. It's really exciting. I'm really excited that she gifted that to give away because I love her yarn and I'm so excited to knit with it. Okay, so there's that. Let's move on to knitting. So even though I haven't knit a lot, I've been, as Katie from Inside Number 23 said, in a knitting schlump. I don't know, just everything else has kind of taken over my life as far as applying for jobs and just kind of being in that weird post-grad limbo. So, I focused on finishing 2 socks for some knit-alongs, and I finished both of them. So these are my Zero Escape socks, which are by Cookie A. There are 2. And this is for the Cookie Jar Cow by Candace of Pin Feathers and Pearls and Laura of the Fawn Knits. I'm obsessed with these socks. I love them. I love the 3x3 rib. I've never done one before, and I really love how it turned out. I keep smushing them up because since it's this pattern, it likes to kind of go like this on the blocker. So I haven't blocked either of these socks yet. It's gonna lay a lot nicer. But on the second sock, which is this one, I did the pattern all the way through, no mistakes, whereas I did 3 repeats with a little mess up. But it's not crazy noticeable, so I just left it and said, yeah, that's fine. So I finished these, and this yarn is Druzy Rising in the Pathway colorway. I love Druzy Rising yarn. She is such an amazing and talented dyer. If you can get your hands on some, do it. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I love the feel of it. It's not It's not a sock base that I'm used to using, but it's not anything like insanely unique, but it's different than the other. I think this is 75/25 Superwash Merino Nylon, and it's different than the ones that I'm used to. There's a higher twist, which I really enjoy personally. So, yes, these socks are done. I'm really excited. I posted my picture. Yeah. So, it's this beautiful green with speckles, and I love them. So, there is pair number 1. Take these off the blockers and put on pair number 2, which I am really, really excited that I finished. I actually stayed up way later than I should have finishing these socks. But the Grocery Girls kept me company, Francophile Knits kept me company, Spicy Homemaker kept me company, Sockcetra kept me company, because I just really, really wanted to have these done. So thank you, you wonderful women. You made this all possible. So I finished my BFF socks for the Fancy Feet knit along with the Grocery Girls. And this was my first time cabling and reading charts for a pattern. So yeah, they are thin, and I'm so happy with how they turned out, and I love how they're showing up in this light. It's perfect. They're a little brighter in real life, but I love them so much. So BFF socks by Cookie A. I don't think I can enter these into the Cookie Jar Cal 2 because I only did the pattern on the front. I don't know. Candace, Laura, let me know. Yeah, but these, again, for the Fancy Feet knit along with the Grocery Girls, where you just do a new to you technique, which is the cabling and chart reading. And yeah, I love them. I knit the entire foot last night. Oh, and I also watched the newest episodes of Bob's Burgers. If you guys don't watch Bob's Burgers and you like kind of stupid but smart humor, you should really check it out. I love Tina Belcher. She's everything to me. But yeah, so these are done. I don't want to put them down because they're absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. So before I jump into works in progress, I'm going to address a question that I was asked on the Ask Me Anything thread, which is, again, a thread in the Ravelry group where you can literally ask me anything. Yeah, and I will do my best to answer it. So I chose to answer this by showing off my May sock, which I will have done. I will have it done by the end of May. I have a week. I have a week to do it, and I think I can do it. Junk Yarn is my indie dyer of the month because Kemper is amazing, and it's my favorite colorway that she does. I really want a featherweight out of this, but I'm gonna wait because I want to knit a featherweight for my wedding cardigan. So I'm gonna wait a little bit, maybe next spring. But the question I actually wrote show notes this week. The question on the side was from T Savage, and she asked me what sock pattern do I follow and what specifically heel pattern do I use. So I started knitting socks really early in my knitting journey. It was one of the first things that actually got me into knitting. I loved the sock yarn, especially when I started watching podcasts, and I was like, I really want to be a capital K knitter. So, especially Kristen from Volenvine, her sock knitting really sparked my love for sock knitting. So, when she released her Volenvine's favorite sock pattern, she originally released it as a Google Doc for any of her podcast viewers because so many of them were asking, how do you knit your socks? We would love a pattern. She released it via Google Doc to people in her Ravelry group. And so that was when I really wanted to knit a sock correctly and one that was going to fit my foot really well. So that is the pattern I use, is Volenvine's favorite sock pattern, and it's just a vanilla sock with a reinforced heel flap and gusset and heel turn, like just the basic. It's my favorite. Yeah, I love a really good vanilla sock, especially with a sock yarn that's speckled like this. I just love it. So that is the pattern that I follow for a sock. I do a little bit of a variation with the 64. I cast on 64 and decrease down to 56, and most of my socks are knit on a US 1.5 or a 2.5 millimeter needle. Sometimes I go down to a 2.25 millimeter US 1, but not very often. It's with a really skinny yarn that I do that. But yes, that's how I knit my socks. The heel flap and gusset, you can find it in almost any pattern, but the one in Kristen's pattern is the one that I follow specifically, and I'll link it in the show notes for you. Yeah, it's just a really great, I love her instructions and how she wrote it out and the way that the pattern's laid out, so I think it's really simple to follow. So I hope that helps. If you have any more questions, let me know. Yeah, because I've used the Fish Lips Kiss heel and the OMG heel, and I like both of them, but they don't fit my foot the way that I really love. The Fish Lips Kiss heel fits Doug's foot perfectly. He prefers that. So it really just depends on your foot, and just experiment with different heels and just kind of tweak it to fit you. And once you find it, it's really exciting. So yeah, that is how I knit my socks. Yeah. So there's that question. But yes, my May sock, I haven't even cast it on yet. I'm horrible. But I will have this done this week because I am dog sitting starting Thursday for Doug's family, and I'm really excited. Yeah, so I will be having a lot of knitting time this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, because I will be at home with the dog almost all day. So I'm really excited to have that knitting time to myself. So I will have it done by next podcast. I know I say stuff like that all the time and then it never happens, but I'm determined to do the 12 pairs of socks in 12 months with a different indie dyer for each month. I almost had a little bit of a freak out because I thought it wasn't recording, but it is, so that's really exciting. I have my handy dandy iced coffee. I love iced coffee so much, year round. I need to learn how to make iced coffee so that I'm not spending so much money. So if any of you have a really good iced coffee recipe that's strong, let me know, because share it in the episode thread, because everybody should have that. So please share that if you have one. Okay, I'm feeling all over the place today, but you know what? It's a lot of fun. So, moving on to works in progress. I worked a little bit on my blankie socks, but I realized that they're over there. It's the one thing that I didn't grab. So, if you will excuse me getting out of frame for a moment and grab my blankie socks. Okay. Scoot on over. Okay. So, these are my blankie socks. This is Left Hand Lass, and her yarn is stunning. There are so many colorways that she has dyed. Which one? There's one that has pinks and blues. It's not Life in Plastic. I feel like it's named after a city or a country. I'm obsessed and I dream acquisitions. But here's the cake. So it's these beautiful blues and golds, and this is on her Riches base, which is Gold Stellina. and superwash merino and nylon. So it's gorgeous, and it's called Clawfoot Tub, but I call it my blankie socks because it reminds me of my baby blanket. So there's that, and here's the sock. I actually might finish these tonight. So here's the leg. I did my reinforced heel flap and gusset. I'm just knitting on the foot. I have a few more inches to go before I start the toe. I'm obsessed, but these, because it is a skinnier yarn, like most Stellina yarns are, I had some credit from Eat Sleep Knit, and I purchased US 1 2.25 millimeter carbons, and I love them, and they're very smooth joins. I love them. I really do love carbons. I have gotten one bad pair, and the tip, there was such a bad join on the tip that the tip actually came off when I was knitting. But other than that, I've had really good experiences with carbons. So they're one of my favorite needles. I love the cable. It's amazing. I actually just bought a pair of Addy sock rockets from my local yarn store because I was asking if they were hiring. Because how cool would it be to work at a yarn store? I would love it. But they're not hiring right now. But while I was there, I was like, I can't just come in and ask if they're hiring. I was like, I need to buy something. So I bought a pair of Addy sock rockets in a 1.5 because I only have the US ones. So I bought US 1.5 so that I could finish. That's actually how I finished both of these pairs of socks, because I just really wanted to knit on something other than a chiaogu, because I love chiaogus, I really do, but there's something about Addy sock rockets that just make me want to knit, and I think it's the cable for Magic Loop. Yes, so that's where I stand on needles, and I know I've talked about that at length before, but yeah, I'm still very happy with that, because I feel like it's a very evolving thing, because I went back to my chiaogus and loved them for a little bit. Yeah, so there's that. I did cast on something new, and I don't want to talk about that now. Okay, back to my blankie socks. So as you know, May is winding down, and I pick a new indie dyer for every month. So for June, because I don't want to cast on any new socks besides the one I just cast on right now, because I want to finish my gable sweater, and I want to finish the socks that I have on the needles. I need to start knitting ties for the wedding. My sister's bridal shower is next month, and I need to knit face washcloths, which I just do a mitered square, and my sisters loved them. I knit them for Christmas. But I also really want to finish the sock. So Kirsten's Yarn Left Hand Glass is my June indie dyer of the month, and I'm so excited. So knit along, and it's gonna be so much fun. So that's also my go look at her Etsy shop, because it's absolutely gorgeous. I just got a message from Kayla. I will answer you when I'm done recording, I promise. She asked me what one of the mini skeins I sent her was. Kayla, I'm gonna answer you right when I'm done. Okay, so yeah, Left Hand Last is June indie dyer. Junk Yarn is May, and I will be finishing this soon. She's starting to do, what's it called? Weekly shop updates. So that's gonna mean that they're smaller, but you have more chances to get your hands on some, and I think she's starting in June. I'm so excited. Kemper, congratulations on all your success. Ugh, I'm so excited for her. Her yarn is just gorgeous. And she did that, I'm not going to say it because I don't know how people feel about cursing, because I've seen some people get a little angry at people about that. But she did this contest to pick one of the baddest ladies that you know in history or fiction or whatever, and the winner was Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who is one of my favorite ladies of all time, and she's gonna do a sock blank based on RBG. So I am so excited, and I'm gonna put some money away to buy that because I love Ruth Bader Ginsburg so much. So I'm really excited about that. Also, I'm really into sock blanks right now. They're amazing. I really want it on my sock blank right now, but I just wanted all of the things. Okay, so show notes because that helps. Okay, so I finally cast on a pair of socks for Doug. I haven't knit any for him this year. I knit 6 pairs, I think 6 pairs, for him last year, and he loves them and he wears them all the time. So I cast on another pair, and it's just the cuff, and I'm doing a contrasting cuff, heel, and toe because he has big feet and he likes long socks. So that way I can make the yarn go further. So this is just some Knit Picks Stroll. It's Dove Heather, which is one of my favorite colorways that Knit Picks does. And I love Stroll sock yarn. It is such a good bang for your buck. I love it. I'm doing 3x3 ribbing because I haven't done that for him yet. And these are my Chiaogus 1.5 US. 32-inch cable is my favorite. Yeah. So I have just about half of this done. I'm going to do about 25 rows, I think, for this. And then the skein that I'm using, I'm actually going to wind while this is uploading, is a skein of Coloring Book yarn, who is also one of my favorites for she's one of my favorites for self-striping. Actually, she might be my favorite for self-striping. I just love how vibrant her colors are. Yeah, I love her yarn. And this is the Marceline colorway, so it's one of her Adventure Time colorways, and I just thought Doug would love this. And I have my Princess Bubblegum socks, so we can kind of have Adventure Time socks together. So that's really exciting. We have Coloring Book yarns. She's on Etsy. She hasn't had an update in a while, but if you follow her on Instagram, she usually tells you when she's going to have an update. So yeah, Coloring Book yarns. I'm so excited. Yeah. So it's going to be that. Yeah. So hopefully he really likes these. I showed him the yarn when I bought it months ago, and he really liked it, so yeah. So that is there. Talked about my May socks. Did the Ask Me Anything. Okay, so now I'm on to some dream knitting, and I have this beautiful stack of lovelies next to me that I am just dying to cast on. And yeah, I forgot to mention what else I was entering my finished socks in, because even though they were knit for the Cookie Jar Cow, which were these, and the Fancy Feet Knit Along, which were these, they fit into two other cows, and from 2 podcasts that I really love, and I don't think I've mentioned on here before, so I just want to, 1, give them a shout out because I love these 3 ladies so much, and 2, because double dipping is so much fun. Okay, so both of these are speckled yarns, and these will be going to the Speckled Yarn Knit Along in the Knitting in the City podcast group. So she's hosting that, and if you haven't checked her out, she's amazing. Her hand-dyed yarn too is absolutely gorgeous. I hope she starts selling it soon because it's so pretty. But yeah, so these will both be going into that, as well as the Selfish Summer Sock Cow by the Dye Another Day ladies, which is hosted by the Yarn Enabler and the Cozy Knitter. Canada has some of the best indie dyers. You guys are amazing. for one, and two, your podcast is just, it's so much fun. I laugh every time. You guys are really inspiring too. I have no idea if any of you guys watch this, but just in case you do, you guys are amazing, and thank you for sharing your knitting and your hand dyeing with us. So yeah, so both of these are for me. So they'll be my selfish socks, and they're both started in May. So 2 entries for both of those cows, as well as the Fancy Feet knit along and the cookie jar cow. Take a sip of coffee. Okay, so dream knitting. Another cow that I'm entering these into because they have stellina is the spring/summer speckle yarn knit along in the Homespun House group hosted by Molly. Yeah, because she's just doing a stellina knit along, and I love stellina yarn. 2 of these that I'm going to talk about are stellina and will also be entered into that cow if I finish them in time. So yeah, I have been dreaming about knitting with these 3 skeins since I purchased them when I was at school. And I just haven't. Yeah, so Mina of the Knitting Expat podcast just released her Beyond Vanilla Part 1 sock series. And you all know, if you've watched or you've seen my projects, I love textured socks almost as much as I love vanilla socks. Textured socks are just super cozy to me. I love them so much, and this pattern collection is all textured socks that are still pretty mindless and almost vanilla without being vanilla. So it's right up my alley, and I am just dreaming of purchasing this collection and knitting them. I am so excited. I would like to knit all 4 of them. But the driftwood pattern, it's amazing. But I do think that with the driftwood pattern, because she gives you specific row repeats so they can like drift in and out, like closeness and further away, but I think I'm just gonna do it straight all the way through. I just love them. They're so pretty. Yeah, so those are going to be coming down the pike, and some of the yarns that I was thinking about using for that, I don't know if I'm going to use this. I'll save that. I think this might be vanilla, but this skein of Gnome Acres in Garden Gnome on the, the Sparkle Gnome base, so it's stellina. I love this colorway so much, and it's very summery, so I thought this would be fun to cast on when I start casting off some more socks. So there are those, and then I think this is what I want to knit, Pebbles? I think it's Pebbles. This is spun right round in her 80/20 and Clairvoyant. Woo. And you know how much I love spun right round too. And it's just this beautiful, crazy, speckly, summer goodness kind of thing. And I really love this electric purple. I don't know if you can see that. I love it. I've been obsessed with that since I got Stellar Banshee from Vine. But yeah, so I'm dying to cast these 2 on in Patterns by Mina in her Beyond Vanilla sock collection. So 1, congratulations Mina on that sock collection. It's beautiful, and I can't wait to see what you do for part 2. I'm so excited. So there are those. And then I think this is going to be vanilla. This is that skein of Vine that I gushed about while I was at school. And it's a one of a kind, and it's Pablo the Blowfish, and it is just everything to me. Yeah, I just love it so much. So this will also be coming down the pike soon. So that's some dream knitting within my stash. Another thing that I really want to cast on that everybody seems to be knitting right now is the Pure Joy shawl by Joji Locatelli. And I love Joji Locatelli's patterns. There's a few sweater patterns I want to knit. I love her 3-color cashmere cowl. I think that would be so cozy in the winter and fall here. But the Pure Joy, the short rows with the striping, I'm obsessed. I can't figure out what I want to do color-wise. Part of me wants to do something kind of crazy with a really dark gray as like the skinnier lines in the big band at the bottom. Oh, I don't know. I think I want to use speckles in a semi-solid. I just don't know what I want to use. So yeah, that's also something else that I've been knitting in my head and kind of looking at Etsy a lot to see what's out there. I'm gonna take another sip of coffee. But the problem with being on an extreme yarn diet right now, because I have no acquisitions, which is really exciting, but being on Etsy when you know you can't buy yarn, it's hard. And I cracked and I purchased one thing, and it's something that I've wanted a lot of these colorways, but I only purchased one because I feel like it's excessive at this point to purchase more. And yeah, I just couldn't help myself because you all know, I hope you know by now, that I love Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter so much. And I don't have any of the nomadic yarns. I'm gonna situate myself. I'm sitting in the middle of 2 cushions on the couch. I don't know why I sat in the middle, but I did, so I'm just like slowly sinking in. So I, like I said, love Harry Potter. I'm a Hufflepuff. And all of her Harry Potter colorways are amazing. But when she first came out with them, the only one that I really loved, like, was going to purchase and not care about spending money, was the Dobby's a Free Elf colorway. And I really thought that's what I was going to purchase. But then, a week or 2 ago, she came out with the Molly Weasley colorway. And I don't think I've ever talked about this before, but I want to be Molly Weasley when I'm a mom. That is my goal. I love Molly Weasley. She knits. She cares about everybody. She's amazing. And the Molly Weasley colorway, it's amazing. So I cracked today and purchased the Molly Weasley colorway. So you'll see that in about a month when it gets here. I'm kind of glad that it's gonna get here later, because then I can cast on when it gets here and know to clear off my needles before then. But I still want, what other colorways are there? I've just been like dream buying in my head because I can't. So the Dobby's a Free Elf colorway. I love Tonks. McGonagall is gorgeous. Doug really likes the Trelawney colorway, which is like the orange and aquas. Yeah, I love all of them. The Hermione colorway is beautiful. I also thought that was one that I was going to buy because Hermione is one of my favorite characters. It's her and Mrs. Weasley. They're my favorite characters, both in the books and the movies. So, yeah, there's that. What else have I been dream stashing is what I called this. Knit Pro Zings. Why are they not in North America? Why? I found them on Etsy. I almost purchased them. I can't bring myself to do it. It's just international shipping. Kind of sucks right now. So, yes, I've been dreaming about getting Knit Pro Zings. There's that. Thanks to the grocery girls and Julie the yarn snob, I have also been dreaming about Lolo Did It yarns. Especially her Zombies colorway, which is this beautiful muted teal and grays and blacks with spatters of red. It's my colors. I love them. So I've been dreaming of that. Gail's art sock blanks because of Andy, and I really want to try 9-inch circs. That's another thing on my wish list right now. Especially the Chiaogu ones, because I can't stand high sharps. But, yeah, so the Gail's Art sock blanks, she just came out with one that's called Dino Egg. It's pale pink, pale turquoise, and golden yellows and rust oranges. Oh, it's so pretty, and it's dinosaur themed, and dinosaurs are so cool. So there's that one. Super miniature progress keepers, because I surprisingly don't have a lot of progress keepers. I have 2 that I regularly use. Yeah, the mermaid one that I got from Kristen of Volenvine, and the fawn that I got from my Aunt Lisa. Those are really the only 2 that I have. I feel like I have one more. I don't know. I don't use it a lot if I do. But the super miniature ones, there's an iced latte one. It looks like it's in a Starbucks mug. Hello. And then you might not know this about me, my favorite food is mac and cheese. But I am trying to eat better, not only because I'm not really comfortable with myself right now, but serious side note, this is kind of inspired by KT of Inside Number 23. I just want to feel comfortable in my own skin, so I'm trying to cut down on my pasta intake, because that's kind of a downfall for me, because I love pasta so much, but mac and cheese especially. I could eat mac and cheese every day for the rest of my life for every meal and probably not get sick of it. I love it so much. But she, Super Miniatures, has these mac and cheese, bowls of mac and cheese progress keepers, and I was like, if I can't eat it, I should look at it on my knitting. So there's that. And then also, Sweet Sparrow yarns, her Robin's Egg and her Garden Rose colorways are gorgeous. Also, she just started a knitting podcast, so go check that out. I watched it yesterday. I loved it. I subscribed. So yes, Sweet Sparrow Yarns has a podcast. Also, Knitting a Love Song has a podcast, which I have been watching lately as well. I think she just put up episode 3. So you should look into those if you're looking for new podcasts that are just starting out. Both of those ladies are amazing, and they're really talented dyers, so give them and their shops a look. Yeah, so what else do I have to talk about? Okay, so that's it for knitting. But on the side note of really like taking care of myself better, I wanted to talk to you guys. This is really out of character because I'm not really a cosmetic-y person. I've always really admired people that are, but I just don't know how to do that myself, so I just never have. So I'm not really into that kind of thing. And, oh, but it's just so pretty. Like, do you ever see the palette? Well, of course you do, but the palettes of eyeshadow and blush, they're just all come together. They're just so pretty. They're so pretty. Yeah. Anyway, but I have been really into Lush lately, which I'm sure you guys have heard about. They're really known for their bath bombs and soaps, stuff like that, but even though I love both of those things very much from them, I have been using hair care and skincare products from them, and I didn't even think to bring them out, but I just think that it's really important to use things on your body that, one, you know what they are, and 2, makes you feel good. And even though Lush isn't completely like chemical free, they explain to you what chemicals are in them, what they do to you, and why they're in there. So I think that's really awesome. Actually, the reason my hair is up like this is my mom and I tried one of their new hot oil treatments for your hair, and we tried Damaged, and I did not get out all of the oil that's on the top of my head. So I'm going to shower before Doug and I go out tonight to get that out of my hair. But yeah, so just look into the company. They don't test on animals, which is really important to me because I feel like that is not okay. They don't test on animals, and they free trade all of their ingredients, especially like cocoa butter and shea butter, which are usually not fair traded, and that kind of also breaks my heart. So I just really love their transparency and how they treat their employees and how they treat their customers, and using their products just make me feel really good. So I'm just going to give you a few that are my favorite, and again, they'll be in the show notes. You can order online or go to a store near you. So I really love their shampoo bars. I've used a few of them, but my favorite right now is the Rose Argan one. It's really good if you feel the need to shampoo your hair every day. So that's really amazing. Their tea tree toner water, which toner water is kind of one of those things that's kind of a luxury, but in the summer especially, I get really, really sweaty, and I hate, capital H, hate hot weather. I don't like feeling sticky. I don't hate all of it. So, yeah, so I use their toner water to refresh myself when I'm out and about all day. I actually got it for the first time when Doug and I went to Chicago last year for the 4th of July. There was a Lush across the street from his aunt and uncle's where we were staying, and yeah, I bought the toner water, and we would be walking around Chicago all day, and I would just get really hot, and I would just spray myself. It would cool me down a little bit and made me feel less gross. So that's really awesome. You should check that out. Their Mask of Magnum tea is an amazing mask that makes my skin feel really good and tingly. I use the non-self-preserving one, so there's just less honey in it. That's really all that is. And it goes bad faster. But I use enough of it. I always get the small one because I can't go through a big one. What else do I really love? I love their Wash That Man Right Out of My Hair body gel. One, because it's a South Pacific reference, which I love South Pacific. I'm kind of South Pacificing right now, but it just smells, this is going to be a really weird, but you know that good old lady smell that's very floral? That's what it smells like, and it's just amazing. I love florally kind of things. So I love that. And I'll give you one more, which is, I don't know if I want to talk about that one, because it's kind of a luxury one. I like to get samples of the Rose Argan body conditioner and Turkish Delight, because one, the full pots are really expensive, and two, that's just a lot of money. It's one of those treat yourselves kind of moment. But yeah, so those two things. Also, you can get samples of stuff that if you don't know you like it, or if you don't know how it's going to react to your skin. So that's really cool. But the last thing that I'm really, really loving right now, I don't know. I love so much of it, but something I use pretty regularly is the Buffy bar, and it's an exfoliator and a body butter in one, and you use it in the shower. It leaves your skin so smooth. I like to use it on my legs after I shave, because then you don't have to put lotion on after, for one, and two, it just feels really smooth and gets all the dead skin off. So yeah, Lush, they're really great, and I don't know, I'm really on this mission to really feel good about myself and treat my body better. So yeah, so if you want to share tips on how you're doing that yourself, leave a message below or in the Ravelry group for this episode, And I just hope you guys are having a wonderful week, staying cool, or if you love the sun, enjoy it. Yeah, so with that, I will talk to you next week.